Alright, Brush Monkeys, we're back, and this week we're starting in on the second group of Fyrdmen from the Norman box set. These are the guys with spears. You see these guys all have their spears in an upward grip as opposed to the downward grip that the other ones had. Other than that, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. There's not going to be a whole lot of surprises in this. I'm going to batch paint the base coats on these guys, painting all the leathers and the flesh and the armor and that kind of thing. All the colors that are common to all of them, I'm going to do those all first. Then I'm going to go over the shields and do all the heraldry and paint their tunics to match their shields. So if they've got blue on their shield, blue and white on their shield, they'll have blue and white tunics, that kind of thing. Same thing I did on the Norman, same thing I did on the same thing I did on the first batch of Fyrdmen, same thing I did on the Fyrdmen, or the Huskarls. Excuse me, I can't talk today. And then we'll shade wash them with the quick shade dip, paint the bases after that's had some time to cure, and then we'll flock them and put the tufts on the bases. Like I said, it's the same procedure we did with the Fyrdmen last time, so no big surprise. This is just going to be more of the same thing. It's just I had to break it up into two different videos because it's a huge unit of guys, 24 guys as opposed to your usual unit of 10 or 12. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and get some base coats down on these guys, and then we'll come back and take a look at them, alright? Alright, see you soon. Alright, Brush Monkeys, I've got the first 6 Normans batch painting base coated. That took me about 2 hours to do all of those 6. I'm going to go ahead and take a break now, and then I'll come back and do the same thing on the other 6, which you can see I haven't even started on them. But that's what I'm going to do. Like I did the first set, I'm doing this set in 2 sets of 6 because I've only got 6 handles available. Going to take a break, then I'll come back and batch paint base coat those 6, and then we'll come back and check in and see how they all look. Alright, see you soon. Bye. Alright, I'm back. And I've gotten all the batch painting base coats done. I've even got their skin tones done. I went ahead and did the Goleman flesh on all of them. So they're all good to go on that. Now it's time to break out the book of patterns here. The color studies book that I've got all their heraldry on, and start doing some shields. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and go ahead and start doing some heraldry and painting their tunics and all that, and then we'll come back and take a look at what I've got. Alright, see you soon. Bye. Alright, Brush Monkeys, I've got the heraldry done on about half these guys now, so I'm going to go ahead and take them off the corks, or off the handles, put these other guys on, and do the heraldry on them. And I think they're coming along pretty nicely. They're again, there's no surprises from the last group that I did. I'm not doing anything differently or doing anything weird with these guys. The only thing I might be doing differently is I might be using some different tufts when I go to base them. But that remains to be seen when I get to that step. Right now it's the same step as before, just painting the heraldry. And once this is done, then I will shade wash all of them with the Army Painter Quick Shade. I'm still using the dip like I did last time. The dip I have put into a different container now. It's actually in, if I can reach it, I put it into these little jars because it was, I'm hoping that's still good for it. Oh yeah, that's fine. These little jars, because there wasn't a whole lot left of it, so I've got 2 of these filled with Quick Shade. And yeah, it's still keeping it liquid. There wasn't a whole lot left in the jar, and the lid on the jar was damaged, so it was starting to dry up in the jar. I didn't want that, so I went ahead and decanted it to another jar. but that's what I'm going to be using on these guys, the same as the others. And again, it takes about 48 hours for that to fully cure, so I'm going to let it sit for 24 hours, and then I'm going to paint the bases on these guys, and then I'm going to let it sit for another 24 hours before I matte seal them and start doing the flocking and all that. So these guys are coming along pretty quickly, fairly quickly. Got a few more designs to do. I got 6 more guys to do here, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. I want to make sure I had 6 designs left because I thought I miscounted at one point. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and do these other 6 guys, and then we'll come back and take a look at them again. Alright, so I'll see you soon. Alright, I'm back, and I've got the heraldry done on the second 6, so they're all ready for the quick shade. I'm going to go ahead and let them dry for a little bit before I do that. They came out looking pretty good, even though I kind of screwed up the heraldry on this guy, but it worked out because I didn't actually use that pattern on another dude. This was supposed to be more of a curved design, and I just went with a straight party color, but it came out pretty good anyway. So yeah, so I'm going to let those guys dry for a little bit, and then I'll come back and quick shade them, and then they'll sit there. So we'll see you guys later. Bye. Alright, update time. As you can see, I've got the last batch of Fyrdmen all shade washed, and they're looking pretty good. Now, like I said, with this quick shade dip, it's got to be at least 48 hours for it to cure before I can matte seal it. So I'm going to let it sit until tomorrow, and then I'll paint the bases on them. That'll have set enough that I can get the green paint on there. And then probably, let's see, I'm recording this Sunday. Tuesday, I will get the flocking on there, glue the tufts on and get the flocking on there. The only thing I'm really doing differently with these guys that I did with the first batch of Fyrdmen is I think I'm going to use some different tufts. I think I'm going to use some of those flower tufts just to add a little more color to the base, make the tuft stand out a little more than it did last time. Last time I just used the Army Painter Battlefield tufts, and they just look like long versions of the flocking. They didn't really stand out a whole lot. Unless you were looking for them, you really couldn't see the tufts. So I'm going to try some different tufts and see how that works. And I may just do that on a few of them. I may do a few of them with the Battlefield tufts that I used on the other group, just to tie them all in together and make them look like they're all part of one coherent unit. But yeah, that's what I've got planned for these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and let these guys dry and start curing, and I'm going to call it a day on them. And then next time you see these guys, I'll have their bases painted, and then we're getting pretty close to wrapping them up. And this is the last unit for the Normans, so this will wrap up the Norman unit. After this, I've got some Reaper Bones figures. I've got some old school Escher gangers coming up. I've got a lot of other projects in the works, so don't worry, I'm not running out of ideas yet. So I will see you guys soon. Bye. Alright, brush monkeys, as you can see, the shade wash, the quick shade dip has dried enough that I can handle the miniatures, and so I've gone ahead and painted all the bases and their base bands. And I will let that sit for another 24 hours to cure up fully before I hit it with the matte spray, the anti-shine matte seal. And then all that's left then is to glue on the tufts and the flocking. So we're getting pretty close to being done here. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the progress, and I'll be back when it's dry and we can start in on the flocking. All right, see you soon. Bye. Alright, update time. The quick shade dip has now had a few days to dry. I actually didn't get a chance to get to it yesterday like I planned to, so I matte sealed them today, so they had an extra day to cure. And it's looking pretty good. As you can see, they're all matte sealed, and I've already glued the tufts to the bases, and they're looking pretty spiff so far. I've alternated flower tufts and the regular swamp tufts with every one of these. So some of these guys have yellow flowers, some of them have white, and they're all some of them just have plain grass. So now we're going to go ahead and do the flocking on the bases. You can see I've refilled my little flock container here. I've got my glue on my palette, I'm all good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pause now and go do that. And the next time you see these guys, they're going to be completely finished. So yeah, we're coming up on the home stretch. We're almost done. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, see you soon. And the Normans are done. Their flocking is all glued onto the bases. They're all matte sealed. They're all ready for the battlefield. And as you can see, this was the problem I was having with the last bunch. The ones that just have the plain grass flocking, it doesn't stand out a whole lot on their bases. The ones that have the flowers, it does kind of stick out. You can kind of see, even just looking through the viewfinder of this camera, I can see the flowered ones fairly easily. I can't see the grass ones hardly at all. But when you get up close, you can pick them up. You can see there's a little tuft of grass sticking up there on some of them. But yeah, they look good. I think they'll fit in with the rest of the army really nicely. So I'm pretty pleased with how these guys came out. I really like the variety of heraldry on these guys and the variety of colors on them, while at the same time they still all look like a coherent army. They all look like they belong together, and I really like that about them. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here and edit this video together. Next week we're going to get into a Reaper Bones figure that sparked something kind of personal in me, and we'll talk about that next week. I hope you'll stick around for that. I think it's going to be good. But yeah, for now the Normans are done, and I will go ahead and post these guys up on Instagram, and I will see you all next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like. If you want to find out when new videos get posted, click subscribe. Comment below on what you want to see on future videos. Visit our Patreon site for lots of ways that you can support me in doing what I do. You can also visit our Instagram and Facebook pages to see all the miniatures that I paint on this channel, and see how you can get your hands on one of your own. So thanks a lot for your time, and thanks for watching my videos, and I will see you guys later. Bye.